Right, welcome to this very special What's New with the Crew. Today is going to be slightly different because I do look slightly Mexican. Not only that, I'll show you my beard. I'm going to be explaining some two things to do with the crew rather than features. Some of them are features, I guess, in some way. Two features to do with the crew. I'm going to be explaining them in response to mainly videogamer.com that decided to try and create a clickbait article to try and make some money out of being very negative about one of the best games coming out in about 10 years. To me, seriously, it is up there. Very, very much up there. The best racing game I've seen in my whole life. So, two things. Microtransactions and always online. I'm going to begin with always online, and the reason for that is because it's relatively easy to discuss, but it's going to be the main biggest topic, I believe. So always online is a bad thing. If your console loses connection, you can't play it. It's not great. But this game is a vision of next generation. Next generation to me is always online, a connected universe, players interacting, unexpected happens. That is what next generation games are to me. Destiny, The Crew, and The Division, next generation titles. Yes, there could have been a way for them to have single player a part of this, very much so. But that is not their vision. You cannot force them to do that. It would have been okay, yeah, cool. But the whole idea for me really being excited about this is because they're actually taking a risk here. They're trying new things. They're trying with the whole connected world. I am not going to be racing AI most of the time. I'm going to be racing players, and that is what we want to do. I don't know who in the world bought Titanfall for single player. Exactly. Titanfall is a multiplayer only game, yet you fail to complain about that. I'm pretty damn sure if you disconnect from the game on Titanfall, you're also going to lose the XP and stuff you went from that game. Just like you do in Call of Duty, because I don't know who buys Call of Duty for the single player. Don't know if anyone does. I don't see you complaining about any other game that's needs a connection. Do you complain about Need for Speed Most Wanted? If you disconnect from the game, you lose your speed points. Is that an issue to you? No, it's not. Of course it's not. You see what I mean? Is it because they didn't give you some money to go, praise Jesus, and all that crap? That's honestly what you're sounding like right now to me. These guys developed Test Drive. A lot of them did. Test Drive was a multiplayer game. It's basically the baby version of The Crew, except the customization and so on that we really wanted for a game for so long. And if you look at that had an always online idea. On the PC, it has an always online idea. On the console, has an always online idea. You can play single player, but the whole idea, the whole experience is not there on single player. You see AIs driving around, but you can't interact with them. With players, you can interact with them. You can race them on the spot. You can set up a race by just flashing your lights at them. Go. The police chases in the game are actually by players in Test Drive Unlimited 2, but in single player, the world is very much dead. And their vision was to make it a very online connected game, a next gen game, and I'm very thankful for that. Moving on to microtransactions, this is a very easy one to just go with. Microtransactions are an issue. Yes, they have been coming up every now and again in games. They are most often now done very right, and I'm pretty damn sure Ubisoft will not be one to get them wrong. It's Ubisoft. It's Ubisoft. It's not EA. None of you complained about the microtransaction style DLC in Need for Speed Rivals. I had to complain, and a lot of people just suck it up, and it is absolutely disgusting, charging £5 for 2 cars. But on this game, you'll be able to buy engine parts, and that's it. That is it. You'll be able to engine parts, a new chassis, something like that. You'll be able to use real money or in-game money. I don't see a big issue. Do you know why? Because it helps me as a player that isn't going to buy these things. I will get extra extended support for this game because they are getting a constant stream of money from those people that want to buy it. And why is this not an issue to me? Someone could just buy £1 million worth of credits in the game and buy everything. No, they can't, because they still have to do the process of leveling up. There is a level cap. You have to get to level 30 before you can use level 30 parts. You cannot be level 1 and use level 30 parts. You are still going to have to progress in the game. See why it's not an issue to me now? You really should look at these things. I don't know, they're trying to leave things on a negative note towards the end of the articles, if you'll realise if you look down below. To make you go, oh, this is awful, I'm going to complain to Ubisoft, you suck. But if anyone else does it, they haven't really complained. £5 for 2 cars. And I'm pretty damn sure, as I said, Ubisoft aren't going to mess this up. Then even if they do charge £1 million for these things, this is a good thing. Do you know why? I'll explain. I was happy with Gran Turismo charging about £120 for their best car. Do you know why that is? Because I could get that car in game by playing for about 10 hours or paying for £120. And I don't know what person in the right mind would pay £120 for one car, so it's a way for them to make money somehow, to fund further development of the game and further support of the game, without charging an online constant subscription. I really want to just take this minute, this last part here, to thank Ubisoft ridiculously much, because Ubisoft, you guys are funding the development of this game that we have been waiting for, begging for almost a decade now. There has not been a good solid racing game for a long time, since Test Drive Unlimited 2, since Midnight Club, and since the early Underground era Need for Speeds. Need for Speed after Carbon really, very much declined, very much, and you can see in sales with Rivals only sitting at 2.5 million sales. Racing is a ridiculously small market. And just to kind of laugh at this article even more, they're actually laughing about the name of the game. They were insulting the name of the game. It's like, okay, you're really just digging for views now, aren't you? What this is exactly what Matt Lees was talking about on his podcast, Daft Souls. I'll link his channel down below as well. Daft Souls is his podcast. Matt Lees was for Video Gamer. Now, he didn't specifically say Video Gamer does this. It's pretty much saying that all sites do this. They try and look for things to complain about for the game before the game actually, before they get the game themselves and they can experience it and be like, that's not bad actually, it's not an issue. Basically, look at Metal Gear Solid. The new Metal Gear Solid game, that game is not a game to be rushed through. Yet they make a video saying it can be completed in about 15 minutes and so on. When it is a game very story, very heavily stealth-based, they're trying to say, look, you can speedrun it in this time, and I was like, no, this is disgusting, and then they can make more and more and more and more and more articles on the same topic. This person did it quicker, this person did it quicker, just to keep a rolling ball of cash flying in, damaging a game's reputation for their own profit. That is the industry we're in today, ladies and gents. Hopefully this video opened your eyes if you are really misguided by this article, and at least causes a discussion down below. Let me know what you think down below. Are you happy with microtransactions in one way, and you're kind of mixed like me? I'm happy about them, but I dislike them. I'm more happy about them because it will mean that there's no big barrier behind it. Sorry, there is a big barrier behind it, meaning that people can't, get on the game and buy the car I've earned over the past 300 hours of me playing the game. They have to do the progression and then pay. If they balance it right, they might as well just use in-game money, that sort of thing. It's a big joke. Thank you very much for watching, and as I said, leave your thoughts down below. BlackPanthaa out. Peace.